Hello and welcome in. This is Balanced Existence, which is a community of like-minded and open-minded individuals who are committed to bettering themselves in all facets of life, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. And I want to continue this video from the one before where I was talking about the two key aspects of the creative process. And this came to me as a channel download when I was walking in nature, as I usually am when I get this information. And the last video I talked about authenticity. And this video I want to continue and talk about the second item, which is abundance. And so, as I said in the previous video, the idea here is that you cannot have these two keys. You cannot have them without creativity, and you cannot have creativity without them. So, in other words, you cannot have creativity without authenticity. You cannot have authenticity without creativity. And in this video, I want to talk about abundance. So you cannot have creativity without abundance, and you cannot have abundance without creativity. And the idea I'm getting at here is that when you are channeling into that creative energy and entering that creative flow state, you are tapping into source energy, the divine, however you wish to call it. And that is abundant in its nature. So creativity pulls on energy which is abundant at its core. Same for abundance. Abundance itself, the concept of abundance itself, which is something that I think it is so crucial that we make the commitment. And when I say I think, this is like the downloads that are coming to me. It is so crucial that we make the priority to live by abundance in every moment. And there's two words I'm getting from this, to achieve this. One is practice, and the other word is habits. So it's really like a habit. So just like let's say somebody doesn't really work out that much, but they really want to become somebody who works out. They want to become somebody who's into fitness and who makes it a regular part of their lifestyle. It's going to take building that habit of every day in everything you do. You're thinking, oh, how am I going to get my exercise in today? Oh, I'm going to get my steps in. Oh, when am I going to get my workout in? Like people who are active, people who are in the fitness world, who, call themselves fitness enthusiasts, or maybe even just those who do just the basics. They work out a few times a week and they just do their best to stay active. Like they don't get to that point without practicing thinking about it all the time, right? They practice by just doing it. They practice by building that habit. So in that same light, we want to do this with abundance and love. Like everywhere you go, I really want to talk. I have a lot of channeled insights that I received recently about romantic love, especially for those who are single, attracting love, maybe attracting a specific person. Maybe there's some twin flame energy out there that, you're in a separation and you can feel a union is around the corner. I have a lot of information on that. If that resonates with you, please let me know in the comments. I've said before on the channel, I really don't care about views or likes or subscribers. Of course, I would like those, but the comments are the thing I'm most excited about. As this channel is attracting the people who are aligned to it, I really look forward to hearing in the comments from people, because I want this to feel like a tight-knit community of people who can really support each other with our positivity. And I really feel like the comments are just going to be such a beautiful way for us to do that. So let me know if that resonates. I definitely will be doing some romantic love channeled insights, videos on that in the future. I have some tarot readings I'm going to be doing soon. And I've talked about this in previous videos, but I have a series that I want to do called Confessions of My Triggers, where I just talk openly about my triggers. And the irony is that even though confession implies that there's some shame behind it, the irony is that the point of the series is to just bring light to it and make and basically normalize talking about the things that trigger us so that we don't associate it with something that we should be ashamed of. And so even if you relate to the exact trigger I share in that series, the idea is that I hope it resonates, because just the concept of talking openly about things that trigger us, I think is just such a beautiful way of living that I would love to normalize and encourage more. So if that sounds interesting to you, also let me know about that in the comments. But I have a lot of upcoming videos and ideas, and like I've also said before in the recent videos, I have a whirlwind of things to say, and I'm really taking advantage of this creative energy and channeling it. I feel like it's all bottlenecked, and I'm really little by little just slowly organizing and actually expressing that energy. And this is my outlet for doing that. These videos are like my verbal journaling, and by that nature, I hope I aim and I intend to attract a community of people who resonate. So I'm getting my creative outlet, and I'm also attracting a beautiful community of people who resonate. So anyway, that was just a little side tangent about the channel, but let's talk about abundance and building this habit. So a fitness person considers, okay, I don't have time to work out today, but I'm going to go for a walk, or, instead of taking a taxi home, I'm going to walk home. So they're constantly thinking every day, oh, okay, I'm going on vacation, so the hotel will have a gym, so I'm going to pack this. I'm going to pack my running shoes. They plan for it, and they take it into account. They take their, workouts into account as they are, scheduling and planning their life. So by that same nature, we should be seeing abundance in everything we do. And this can be hard when we have a lot of subconscious limiting beliefs that get in the way of doing that. And so I think that just like we are committing to making it a priority to make a habit of taking, the time to be in that creative flow state and doing that authentically, we should also be making it a habit to see abundance and love in everything we do. Everywhere we go, we should see the abundance. We should be constantly thinking of the abundance of possibilities that there are for us, and by that nature, the fact that we believe that we are deserving of them and that they are possible for us. So, abundance, I also want to talk about the idea of kind of if you're really into manifesting, you may have heard the concept of being delusional, in order to manifest. And that is key here, because the reason that works for people is because it gets them out of that scarcity mindset, and it gets them thinking, oh my gosh, I could have that, I could have that. It's you've arrived to this buffet. I'm seeing a little kid arriving at this giant buffet, and they've never seen that much food in one place in their life, and they're just looking at it whoa, that's amazing. It's seeing that, it's entering that state of energy, waking up every morning and and not just waking up this way, but throughout the day being like, whoa, like there is so much in life that could happen. Like really just wrapping your head around that, feeling what that feeling of awe feels like. Because when you do receive it, you may feel that awe. The expectation is not to just normalize it and feel like, yeah, whatever. Of course I got it. I don't really care. Like, yeah, you can believe, of course I got this, but you should also be feeling that awe and that excitement at the same time. And practicing embodying that feeling is key for the manifestation. I mean, all of the manifestation coaches, reiterate that you've got to be in that feeling state. If you're not feeling what it would feel like, then you're missing the key point. And so when I talk about abundance, I'm talking about, the abundance of possibilities, the abundance of love and gratitude that you can feel within yourself, the abundance of the intensity of the feelings that you can just conjure that feeling. You can get there without any external thing driving you there. And that's the beauty about abundance, about the source energy that you can pull from. You can create it within yourself at any given moment. And it takes practice. So if you're in survival mode, it's going to be really hard for you to get there. But if you're taking time every day to really relax your nervous system and get into that state of feeling, oh my gosh, look at this abundance, look at this buffet of options in front of me. And it's not just about the options being in front of me, it's that I have a seat at a table and I get to take a plate and pile up my plate with all the different foods I want, whatever calls to me. I have a meal ticket, right? Like I have a table for me to sit at. I have a plate, I have a fork, I have a napkin in my hand, and I am here to receive. That is such a beautiful and exciting opportunity. Like, how does that make you feel, to feel that you can get crepes, you can get waffles, you can get pancakes, you can get fruit, you can get burgers. Like, what calls to you? Like, what do you want? Like, what's going to feel good? Like, what if you went through your whole day feeling the way you would feel at a buffet like that? Like, that is the picture I want to paint when you think about abundance, right? I'm also hearing this like analogy of like energetically setting the table for your manifestation. So like kind of like going off on the same analogy of like the buffet. Like if you think about, the food on your plate as your manifestation, like your manifestation fulfilled, then you do have to set that plate, right? Like you have to grab a plate, you have to grab a fork, you need to set the table. Maybe in this analogy, we're not at a restaurant. Maybe we're home. Maybe something's cooking in the kitchen. And I'm hearing this analogy of like, you wouldn't just like wait for the food to show up and then be like, oh, okay, like let me go grab a plate, let me go clear off the dining table. And that's another side note, clearing off the dining table. If you have clutter in your life, it's quite literally preventing you from putting that plate of food on your table because the clutter's in the way. So I think you know what this means. Like, you know what clutter's in your life that you need to really start prioritizing going through it. Every week that you are not handling that clutter, you are keeping yourself from having a good meal. Like, why are you starving yourself by leaving this clutter around, right? So anyway, yeah, so this image is like clearing off the table. Maybe you want to put down a nice tablecloth. Is this a luxury manifestation? Is this a luxury meal that you are working with here? Because if that's the case, you're going to need some pretty intense preparation. You're going to need to lay down a tablecloth. You're going to want to light some candles. You're going to want to make sure you have a comfortable chair. You're going to want to make sure the lighting in the room is good. You're going to want to make sure the room smells good. Maybe you need to, diffuse some rose oil. Like, these are all of the things that you need to do to prepare for your manifestation. If you're going to have like the most amazing steak dinner, like you don't want to just eat that on a dirty old table with like a plastic plate, right? Like you want to have your nice china, you want to have a nice glass that's clean for your drink, right? Like all of these things that you need to do to set up yourself for your manifestation. So that's just kind of like, I think a really helpful and like meaningful analogy that I got. And I want to talk more about manifestation in like future videos as well. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave this reading here, or reading, channeling here. And yeah, I really encourage you to see abundance everywhere you go. And it's not just about seeing it externally. It's not about like looking for it externally. It's about embodying it internally, like feeling what it would feel like, such that when you go about your day, because you already feel that way on the inside, you feel like what it feels like to be that kid at that buffet. I say kid, I mean adults get excited about buffets as well, but I just use the analogy of the kid because a child, like, it's the analogy of the child that's like never been to such a luxurious, expansive buffet. And so they're just like, wow, I've never seen this much food before. And I love the analogy of it being like a child that's like, oh my gosh, I've never seen this much abundance in one place. Like, this is amazing. I'm so grateful. I'm so excited, like how that makes them feel. But anyway, yeah, like if you are embodying that feeling on the inside, then as you go throughout your day, you will start seeing that abundance. You'll see, oh, look at that, a plate of strawberries. Wow, like that's amazing. Or, oh my gosh, look at that. Like I can have waffles or pancakes. Like you will metaphorically start seeing those little parts of the buffet in your day-to-day as you navigate through life. And that's the beauty of like when you achieve that inner feeling, you start to see it physically reflected in your physical reality. You start to see it reflected. And it's all about just what your brain is recognizing. And your brain is going to recognize things in accordance with how you feel. So, okay, that is what I want to leave with you today. Please let me know in the comments what resonates, what your thoughts are on this. And I will talk more about this in future videos. I can already feel like a lot of like whirling, exciting energy on this. If you watch to the end, comment your favorite color, heart emoji, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.